What do you think of the critique that this is a commentary and a failure by the regulatory agencies?
Look, I think that we just heard Patrick McHenry. The critique that he made is, have we classified these assets correctly? And in classifying them, are we then regulating them correctly? It has been my belief for a long time that many of these assets, and I've said it repeatedly for more than 5 or 6 years now, are in fact securities, should be regulated like securities, and their trading should be regulated like securities. That is inside the United States. Right. Patrick identified the other issue, which is this is trading that is offshore. You've identified it. Those are the two conundrums, the classification and the global nature of this market.
But Jay, the reason I mentioned the failure of the regulatory agencies, possibly including the SEC currently and arguably even before when you were in office, and the reason I asked the question is, if the SEC is able to sue based on trying to protect the investors in FTX itself, it also suggests that regulators missed the signals to prevent that from happening in the first place.
Well, look, these were the factual predicate here are private sales of securities to sophisticated investors. Does the SEC police that? Of course. But is that the kind of activity that takes place on our public markets that is what I would say is the principal focus, the principal investor protection area for the SEC? It is not. But on the moving forward, Andrew, Tim Masad, former CFTC chairman under President Obama, and I laid out a path forward for the platforms that are trading in the United States to be regulated while Congress acts. And, I would urge people to, both in Congress and at the agencies, to try to move forward in a proactive way. But they're doing a good job in bringing it.
Jay, we were talking in the 6 o'clock hour just among ourselves about the idea that the venture capitalists and everybody who invested in this, that effectively are those 90 investors the SEC is talking about in their complaint this morning, didn't do enough diligence, clearly, didn't look at compliance, may have been either wearing blinders, knowingly, unknowingly. I don't know if this is a see no evil, hear no evil situation. I don't know if you think it's a business model problem, which is to say the venture community, is often given a term sheet. They sign it in 12 hours. And they expect that, 90% of the investments are going to go to zero anyway. So how they get to zero to them maybe almost doesn't matter. Should we think about it like that? Or should we think about this as a serious governance problem?
Look, on the investors, they're sophisticated. Hindsight is 20/20. We will get to the bottom of that. That's part of the hearings, what happened here. We look at the complaint. I mean, one of the things that you said earlier, and I caught some of the program, terrific, is a lot of this is as old as time. And I think that's the lesson here. It was offshore, it was not regulated, but it's the same types of things that we have seen, for centuries. And it's why we have very rigorous regulation of our public markets in the United States.
So, Jay, play this out, though, for us in terms of both ability for customers to get their money back. Does any of this change anything? And what you think the future of crypto really is now here in the United States?
Okay, look, that will play out in the bankruptcy proceeding. You got professionals in there and the like. This is just one element of that. You'll hear more of it today, I'm sure, in the hearing. There'll be questions around the ability of customers to get back. We'll all be paying attention to that. In terms of crypto in the United States, what is crypto? Now, do I believe and do others believe that the technology here and the ability to move money in what I would say is a very secure, transparent way around the world, money, assets, rights, is going to change things? Absolutely. What does it mean in terms of what I would say are some of the unregulated assets that are trading in the United States and that people have had access to? We're going to continue to see a shakeout.